Welcome back. All right, so pretty full night of hockey. 8 games to review. Let's go ahead and get into that. If you're cheering for a home team, well, the first board was pretty much your cup of tea -1. The second board, not so much. Mostly road teams went on the second board. Let's start off with the Buffalo Sabres and the Ottawa Senators. And there's some controversy coming out of this game. I don't know if Department of Player Safety is going to get involved. We'll see. It's Dell versus Murray in this one. Early chance for Cousins was saved. The Senators press at 3 minutes. The Senators get a power play. That's killed off. Watson fires one wide then as the Senators press. Skinner with a break. He scores after the whistle. The whistle probably shouldn't have gone then, but there was a player down at the other end of the ice. So the whistle goes so that other player can be attended to, but Skinner wasn't very happy, and he was pretty chirpy the rest of the game after that. There's a post for Mittelstadt. Really nice play there, but it ends up hitting the post. Chabot hits the stanchion. He goes down on that play and exited the ice at that stage. Sabres get a power play. Thompson misses an open net. That's killed off. And then Ennis opens the scoring from Gaudette and Brown, Josh Brown, at 15:53. That's the first goal in 30 games for Ennis, and it was a great play by Gaudette to set it up. Senators get a power play, and it's Stützle scoring on it at 17:11. So it's 2-0 Ottawa. They're not done in the first. Ennis adds one from Tierney and Gaudette at 18:48. So Ennis with a couple of goals, Gaudette with a couple of assists. Life is good for Ottawa in the first period. Dell then interfered with Batherson. So Batherson's going around behind the net, and Dell shoulders him down. Batherson collides and crashes into the boards, hurt his knee on the play. And the question gets asked. So there's no call, right? Batherson's knee's hurt. He leaves the game. There's no idea of how long he could end up missing. And so the question gets asked of, all right, so Dell interferes with Batherson, who's not anticipating the hit. Should there be a suspension out of that? Should there be something else? And they even had a video package they put together of times that Dell has done things that are similar, where Dell's temperament has led him to throw a check here and there, a shoulder here and there, when players aren't expecting it. So we'll see if Department of Player Safety gets involved. I know there's been other incidents over the last few days that have had crickets from Department of Player Safety. We'll see what happens here. Second period, Darlene with a net drive. Murray saves there. We then end up with 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Senators press at 7 minutes. The shots are 8-5 for the Senators at the half. They get a 2-on-1. It leads to a goal. Formenton with absolutely great moves by Stützle. Sets it up. Formenton just taps it in the net. Tkachuk with the other assist at 11:15, so that makes it 4-0. Sabres get a power play. That's killed off with 44.9 seconds left. The Senators get a power play. Brady Tkachuk's denied in the closing seconds of the period. It rolls over into the third period where it's killed off. The Sabres then get a power play after that. That's killed off as well. Senators press at 8 minutes. The Sabres go back to the power play, so the Senators kill that off too. Tkachuk has a rush chance that's saved. Senators get a power play. Sabres get a power play, but with 30 seconds left, Tyler Ennis scores from Tkachuk. So by my count, that's 3 goals. And your final score is 5-0 in favor of the Ottawa Senators, who go to 13-20-3 with the win. Buffalo drops to 13-22-7 with the loss. Your 3 stars are Ennis, Murray, and Stützle. The shots in this one, 11 apiece in the first, 17-11 Ottawa in the second, 19-10 Ottawa in the third, so they just kept rolling. Final shots, 47-32 for the Senators. Power plays, 0-for-5 for Buffalo, 1-for-4 for Ottawa. Hits, 38-23 for Ottawa. They outshot him and outhit him by a wide margin. Dell saves 42 out of 47. Murray saves all 32 shots. He gets a shutout. And honestly, maybe Murray's going to have a good second half of the season, and that would be good news for Ottawa, right? All right, moving along. Stars. So I'm wearing Dallas. It's funny too because they sweep this road trip, and yeah, it's one of those things that where I'm like, okay, I don't know how well they've played on parts of this road trip, but they seem to be getting better as it goes along. I thought they had a good game tonight. A little bit of an iffy third period, but they had a big lead. So it's Holtby versus Schmid. They're wearing the jersey for New Jersey tonight, that jersey. Pavelski scores on the first shot from Robertson at 14 seconds. Not a great start for Schmid. I didn't even have the H in there. So it's Schmid. It's Schmid. So I just misspelled it. Power play then for the Devils. That's killed off. The Stars press. Schmid covers on that. Severson misses high as the Devils press, but then on the Stars' fourth shot, they get another goal. It's Peterson from Radulov and Kiviranta at 9:45. We then get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Following that, Pavelski scores from Heiskanen and Hintz at 16:48. So it is suddenly 3-0 in favor of Dallas. The Devils did try to answer, but it's 3-0 after the first. Second period, Gillies is in to start the second period, and he gets lit up 15 seconds in. Hintz from Pavelski, that makes it 4-0, and that was the first shot that he faced. So we get a Bronx cheer when Gillies made a save after that. That would kind of fade away, though, because Gillies was quite good after that first goal went in. Shots are 10-7 for the Stars at 8 minutes, showing that he did recover from allowing that first goal there. Devils then get a power play. They do score on it. It's Jesper Bratt from Hughes and Severson at 12:16. Devils then press with 6 minutes left, and again, you know, Dallas is up by 3, but you have to see if they're able to keep that lead. Do they start getting lazy? I didn't think they necessarily did. We get Glendening versus McLeod. A fight takes place. Late saves by Holtby. Team up by 3, and in the third, they kind of rode Holtby to the win. So White has a chance to block. The Stars get a rush chance. VC ends up hitting the side of the net. The shots are 7-3 for the Devils at 6 minutes. So this is where Holtby's in charge, right? Devils press, they're kept to the outside. Holtby, a major factor in the third period. Kiviranta has a chance that's saved. There's a power play for the Stars. That's killed off. The early goalie pull is done by the New Jersey Devils because, well, they're down 4-1, so they have to. And at 17:35, it's Hakanpää from Pavelski. So Pavelski does not get the hat trick. He was on the ice for that. That makes it 5-1. The Devils get a late power play, unsuccessful. And so your final score is 5-1 for Dallas. Nice game for them. They go to 22-16-2 with the win. For the Devils, 15-21-5. So Dallas sweeps the road trip. They're now 8-12-1 on the road, which doesn't sound great, but they were 4-12-1 before the road trip. And so now maybe they can bring that home, and we'll see. That there's definitely a playoff spot there for them should they choose to grab it. 3 stars are Pavelski, Hintz, and Suter. The shots in this one favored New Jersey in the first, 9-7, and yet they came out of that period down 3. Shots are 15-12 Dallas in the second, and then 16-10 New Jersey in the third. Final shots favor New Jersey, 37-32. Power plays, Dallas 0-for-1, New Jersey 1-for-3. The hits, 21-19 for Dallas. Holtby saves 36 out of 37. Schmid saves 4 out of 7. Gillies saves 23 out of 24. So again, he recovered nicely after allowing that goal 15 seconds into his time in the net. So, moving on. Arizona in against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And again, Arizona showing they can threaten to win games. Can they close them out? Well, not usually, no. It's Vejmelka versus Jarry. The shots are 3-0 for the Penguins at 2.5 minutes. And of course, with Vejmelka, you always wonder, okay, is he ready to goalie another team and stonewall another team when they're actually outplaying him? Kapanen with a rush chance. That was fired high. There's more pressure by the Pens at 6.5 minutes. Coyotes pressure back at 8 minutes, but what we end up seeing here is that the Penguins are not giving the Coyotes any room. So later on in the period, there was a lot of praise to Arizona for not giving Pittsburgh many chances. I kind of saw it the other way around. And the shots at the end of the period showed Pittsburgh outshot them by more than 2-1. So we go into the second period, early press by the Pens. They did not change their game plan. They didn't get frustrated by the fact they weren't scoring on Vejmelka. Krause with a rush chance, that was saved. There's a power play by the Penguins. Really aggressive penalty kill by the Coyotes. And Schmaltz scores from Keller and Boyd at 8:23. We then get a delay of game call, and the Penguins go to the power play. During that power play, they score. It's Rust from Crosby and Malkin at 11:31. Fantastic pass by Sidney Crosby on that one. Coyotes then try to answer. The Coyotes get an extended 5-on-3 as well, and they do score during the 5-on-3 to restore the lead. It's Keller from Gostisbehere and Schmaltz at 16:22. But then we get another penalty, which leads to a 4-on-4 for 42 seconds. The Penguins then get the power play. They score again. It's Letang from Crosby and Rust at 18:18. So, after the second period, this game is tied at 2. Third period, early press by the Coyotes. Vejmelka saves a Carter chance. Aston Reese fires one wide. And then Schmaltz. Fantastic moves by Schmaltz. He gets the second goal of the game, only his 4th of the season. And at 2:54, Coyotes are in the lead, and they're looking for more. However, it's Pittsburgh. McGinn scores from Rodriguez and Malkin at 4:53. Penguins get a press after that. In fact, they end up getting a 3-on-2 on a rush chance, and they score. It's Crosby with his 497th goal from Rust and Dumoulin at 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Letang then adds one from Rodriguez and Carter at 11:36 to make it 5-3. And then Boyle adds the 6th goal from Aston Reese at 13:42. And Boyle between the legs. It's one of those ones that apparently does it a lot in practice. He doesn't do it in game. He did it there and it worked. No chance for Vejmelka on that one. So Pittsburgh adds 4 goals in the final 15 minutes. Well, 15:07. And they win this game 6-3. They go to 27-10-5. The Arizona Coyotes 10-27-4. The shots heavily favor Pittsburgh. 10-4 in the first, 11-7 in the second, 15-5 in the third. Final shots 36-16 for the Penguins. Power plays, Arizona 1 for 2, Pittsburgh 2 for 3. The hits were 32-22 for Arizona. Vejmelka saves 30 out of 36. I don't know how many of those you could put on him. Not many, if any at all. Jarry 13 saves on 16 shots. So Jarry doesn't have a world-beating night, and Pittsburgh bails him out by scoring 6 goals. That's a sign of a good team, and so Pittsburgh continues their roll. I've talked about that in videos earlier today, and so that roll just continues. All right, next up. The Vegas Golden Knights in against the Carolina Hurricanes. So I use the word mark for them and for the Devils. I like to use different magnets. So, in fact, I found for Arizona, for anybody wondering, I did find the actual, that finally available Space Coyote head. Can't wait to start using that for games too, in the actual font that they use on their jerseys currently. So I got there. They just haven't arrived here yet, and I haven't made magnets out of them. I know, riveting, right? So 228,000 subscribers. There you go. Brossoit versus Anderson. I have no idea why. I do not understand. So it's Brossoit versus Anderson in this one. Early jump is for Vegas. Aho was denied on a one-timer. Vegas presses at 5.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. The shots are 4-2 for the Canes at 7 minutes. So Vegas is getting that zone time. They're not getting shots. Canes get a power play. That was killed off. Roy then has a chance that's defended at the net. Svechnikov has a chance then that's deflected out. Late power play for Vegas. Really aggressive penalty kill by the Carolina Hurricanes, and they would finish the kill early in the second period. So we're still scoreless. And this was feeling a lot like the Washington game to me. Svechnikov has a rush chance that's saved. The shots are 3-2 for Vegas 4 minutes into this. But then in comes Carolina, right? Niederreiter scores from Stahl at 4:44. And then Trocheck gets his 10th of the season from Svechnikov and Stepan at 5:41. Canes then press for another. They're already up 2-0. Power play for Vegas, that's killed off. Vegas scores. It's challenged for goalie interference. And it fails. Patrick gets the goal from Kolasar at 18:15. So because they challenged for it, it's a power play now for Carolina. Well, that rolls over into the third where the kill is finished off. Then we get a 4-minute Canes power play, but the Canes take a penalty during that to make it a 4-on-4, and then you get into the, it's just a mess. Shorthanded chance for Janmark was denied. Everything gets killed off there. Svechnikov's denied on a net drive. Vegas with a 2-on-1. Stevenson's denied as well. So really good goaltending in the third period here. Canes then get a power play, and they score on it. It's Sebastian Aho scoring from D'Angelo and Teravainen at 8:32. That makes it 3-1. And you would be forgiven at that point for saying, hey, I wonder what else we can watch, because this game's pretty much over. Canes go back to the power play. That was killed off. Very key penalty kill by Vegas. And then Vegas starts the comeback. It's Howden from Theodore and Patrick at 13:08. So Nolan Patrick with a goal and an assist tonight. Canes try to answer, but it's Haig that ties the game from Carrier and Janmark at 17:30. And Svechnikov's denied on the next shift. So we go to overtime. In the overtime, Canes control on the face-off. Svechnikov was denied. Vegas then controls it. Nachos around the net. There's a turnover. Roy was denied by Anderson. Svechnikov to Aho. That's defended, but the Canes kept it. Didn't lose the puck there. Nachos with the net drive wouldn't go. There's a scrum at the Canes net after a save by Freddie Anderson, but the Canes do get a goal. It's Aho from Svechnikov at 3:49. They win this one 4-3 in overtime. They go to 28-9-2 with the win. With the overtime loss, Vegas 25-15-3, and they'll take a point in Carolina. Honestly, Carolina's a tough team. Vegas takes a point there. Your 3 stars are Aho, Niederreiter, and Svechnikov. The shots, 11-5 Carolina in the first, 9 apiece in the second, 13-8 Vegas in the third. In the overtime, both teams get 2 shots. Final shots 30-29 for Carolina. Power plays, Vegas 0 for 3, Carolina 1 for 5. Hits 26-23 for Carolina. Brossoit saves 26 out of 30. Freddie Anderson saves 26 out of 29. And despite both goalies having save percentages below 900, they played well. This was a game that had a lot of really good opportunities, but it was not the one that I felt was the loosest game of the night in terms of those really good opportunities. That's on the next board. Next up, Philadelphia and the New York Islanders. So Philadelphia, we're at that stage now where we keep saying, well, they're going to have to win a game now, right? How about now? Are they winning a game now? How about now? Now would be a good time for, all right, never mind. They're never winning a game again. I know there are some Flyers fans that were already there. I'm just saying I'm starting to get there myself, to where I'm saying I don't think Philly's going to win another game this year. I think they're just done. So it's Jones versus Sorokin. This is game number 965 for Yandel. He has officially become the new Iron Man in the National Hockey League. And to start things off, at 57 seconds, Giroux on their first shot scores from Lindblom and Sanheim. And he scored it from the corner. So it wasn't this fantastic, beautiful goal, but it's a goal. Shots are 3-1 for the Islanders at 5 minutes, though. So the Islanders have the shot advantage, but they're behind. Power play then for the Islanders. It's not very good. The Flyers kill it off. There was 1 shot. Martin was prominent, had some scoring opportunities. There was speculation by the announcers about whether or not he might get a goal tonight. Spoiler alert, he didn't. Flyers pressure after a turnover. The shots are 7-3 for the Islanders with 8 minutes left. And then Braun scores for the Flyers. He scores from Atkinson at 12:48. It's 2-0 Philly. And again, makes some sense. They're overdue. They need a win. You know, they're due for one. But Dobson scores from Chara and Pajot at 13:37. So it's less than a minute later that the Islanders answer. The Islanders then press for the tie, and before the period's out, they've got it. It's Lee from Barzell and Bailey at 18:15. So it's 2-2 after 1 period. Second period. Mayhew goes around the net, fires one wide. The early jump was for the Flyers. Zdeno Chara then hits a post. We get a power play for the Islanders, and they score on it. It's Barzell from Nelson and Parise at 5:42. And then Parise hits a post on the very next shift. So Zach Parise is starting to get the puck around the net. He's starting to get scoring opportunities. This is good news for the Islanders, right? The Islanders' fourth line net crashes. Save made on that play. Cizikas with a net feed deflects into the corner. Islanders press with 8 minutes left. There's a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off. Wallstrom had a rush chance that was saved, but it's 3-2 in favor of the Islanders after 2. Third period, we get 2 minutes of 4-on-4 to start, and that works for Philly. They score. Mayhew scores from Lawton and Sanheim at 1:30, so that round the net firing wide play in the second, he learned from that and he gets a goal. The shots are 4-4 at 8 minutes. Salo with a blast, that was blocked. There's a delay of game call. A power play is underway then for the Islanders, and just after it ended, Parise scores to give the Islanders the lead once again from Beauvillier and Nelson at 11:51. That makes it 4-3. With 2.5 minutes left, the Flyers pull the goalie. With 15 seconds left, the Flyers try a timeout. The face-off, though, was in the neutral zone, so yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. Your final score is 4-3 for the Islanders. They go to 15, 14, and 6. So again, they go above the NHL 500 mark. The Flyers are not anywhere near the NHL 500 mark. They're 13, 22, and 8 with that loss tonight. So your 3 stars are Parise, Barzell, and Yandel. Yandel, of course, the 3rd star because it's game 965. So your shots, 9-8 Islanders in the first, 14-4 Islanders in the second, 10-5 Islanders in the third. Final shots, 33-17 for the Islanders. Power plays, Philadelphia 0 for 1, Islanders 1 for 4. The hits, 28-19 in favor of the Islanders. Hits and shots, both heavily just Islanders. Jones saves 29 out of 33. Sorokin, not a great night for him, but again, goalie with not great stats, but he's bailed out. Saves 14 out of 17, gets himself the win. So there you go. Next up, this was the game that had a lot of scoring opportunities. I thought that while the shot totals aren't that egregious, man, there were a lot of fast chances in this, a lot of rush chances. So it's Bobrovsky versus Hellebuck as the Florida Panthers are in against Winnipeg. And there's no Josh Morrissey. Shortly before the game, he was put on the protocol list. And so 3 of the top 6 defensemen are out for Winnipeg, which, I mean, you can overcome that against certain teams, but against Florida, it just makes it so tough. There's so many plays on that blue line, and offensively, too, that go through Morrissey. So early press by the Jets, Bobrovsky saves, and then on the first shot for Florida, it goes in. It's Marchment on a nice feed from Lundell at 2:09. Lundell to Marchment then almost connects again shortly thereafter. But Stastny ties the game from Dillon and Lowry at 8:19 before Marchment goes up 2-1 for Florida from Reinhart and Carlson at 12:06. At 12:57, the Jets answer. It's Connor from Perfetti and Sandberg. The problem is you're getting into this goal trade-off with Florida, a team that's lethal offensively. Lethal. And Lundell adds a goal to his count from Marchment and Reinhart at 17:33. So Mason Marchment with 2 goals and an assist in the first period. It is 3-2 for the Panthers. Second period, power play for the Jets, and it succeeds. It's Dubois from Perfetti and Schmidt at 3:30. So Perfetti with his first 2 NHL assists tonight. Panthers then get a power play. Pionk blocks off a Huberdeau pass, and the Jets did kill it off. But for Hagee, before the game's half done, gives the Florida Panthers back the lead at 4-3 from Ekblad and Barkov at 9:42. And again, they're just getting way too many really good looks in this game. You just can't do that. The Jets get a power play. Barkov doing some shot blocking. It's killed off. Kopp then had a blast that was saved. The Jets press. Lomberg with a rush chance. That wouldn't go. The Panthers end up getting a power play. It was killed off. So in the third period, there's an early press by the Jets. Huberdeau has a drive that's saved. Power play for the Jets. That's killed off. So their power play lets them down from that point on. Panthers get a power play. The Jets did kill it off. Montour with a net feed. That was cleared out. But eventually, Florida gets another. It's Bennett from Duclair and Ekblad at 12:10. They're just too lethal offensively for what Winnipeg was giving them tonight. Kopp then has a screenshot that's saved. They pull the goalie with 2.5 minutes left. But then the Jets take a penalty with 1:34 left. So you're not going to score twice when you're playing 5-on-5 against Florida with a minute and a half left. And so your final score is 5-3 in favor of Florida. They go to 29-9-5 with the win. The Jets drop to 17-15-7. Your 3 stars are Marchment, Perfetti, and Lundell. The shots, 14-10 Winnipeg in the first, 14-8 Florida in the second, 13-8 Winnipeg in the third. Final shots, 35-32 for the Jets. Power plays, Florida 0-4, Winnipeg 1-3. Hits, 18-16 Florida. Bobrovsky saves 32 out of 35. He did very well tonight. And Hellebuck, I thought was fine. Just, again, way too many prime opportunities for Florida. 27 saves on 32 shots. I thought Florida's transition game was excellent tonight. So, yeah, there you go. Florida comes out with a win. Improving their road record just a little bit here. And nice bounce back after a loss against Seattle. All right, next up. Oilers. So this was a game between the Oilers and Vancouver Canucks. I used the word mark for the Canucks as well as for up here as well as for the goals. Anyways, it's Koskinen versus Martin. Spencer Martin was cleared before the game. Thatcher Demko was not, so Martin's in net. And I don't know what the Canucks can do for him other than apologize at this point. Because Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is back, and the Oilers played very well tonight. Early chances, though, were for the Canucks. Bouchard then has a blast that's saved. There was some pushing and shoving after that happened. The Canucks then press at 8.5 minutes. The shots are 7-6 for the Canucks at the half, and I thought they were playing well. The Oilers get a power play. That was killed off. Mott with a break chance. That's defended. Pettersson had a chance that was saved, and then Miller right after that. So the Canucks are getting opportunities. Late period heroics then by Martin, but both goaltenders, Koskinen, who is much maligned at this point, and Martin, who was basically an unknown before a week ago, both of them I thought acquitted themselves very, very well in the first period. Second period, early press by the Canucks. The Canucks have a 2-on-1. Russell with shot blocks there. He's fearless with his shot blocking, right? Mott then has a chance to save Miller too. Tyler Mott had one of his best games tonight ever. Like, I'm not just talking as a Canuck. I'm going to go out on a limb and say for his whole career. McDavid has a shot deflect wide. Yamamoto ends up hitting the post. No idea how that didn't go in. Back and forth chances follow that. Keith with a net feed. That was cleared. Höglander has a wraparound that wouldn't go. He was on his backhand there. He was trying, but it's not going to go off the backhand. 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Draisaitl was denied. Miller then thanks Martin because Miller coughed out the puck to Draisaitl. Draisaitl was stealing some pucks tonight. But then Pettersson. He scores at 14:26, which means that they can play Don't You Forget About Me, which sounds like it should play at a funeral, not at a hockey game. It's not very celebratory. So I know I've been complaining about it, but it's still there. It's still, I don't understand why it's the goal song. Even by Simple Minds standards, Sanctify Yourself is a much better song. Look it up. It is. At least for a goal song, if you're going to play Simple Minds, play Sanctify Yourself. Play something upbeat and fun. Just, I don't, bothers me way more than it should. So it was a beautiful goal by Pettersson. He continues his comeback, right? And it's 1-0 Vancouver. The Oilers allow the first goal for their 10th straight game. The record in team history is 11. That was set in the 80s. What are you doing? No. Come on. No, come on. You know, it's one thing for me to deal with a cat. I'm not used to dealing with a rabbit I don't have food. All right. So, apologies. He's going to jump right over on here and everything's going to crash. Miller then denies McDavid. And then there's a shorthanded goal. It's Tyler Mott from Miller. So Miller blocks the McDavid goal, gives it to Mott, and Mott scores at 17-13. So it's beautiful. And the Canucks finish off the kill. Oilers try to answer, and at the horn, Spencer Martin with a goal line stand. So we go to the third period with it 2-0 Vancouver. However, early press by the Oilers, and the Canucks right away, they're pinned down. And this is something I've seen, and we saw it a lot under Travis Green. I haven't seen it as much under Boudreau. I guarantee he was driving him nuts in this one. Chason was denied on a turnover. Highmore had a rush chance that was saved. I've liked Matthew Highmore over the last few games. I think he's played quite well. Hunt's stick then died, so the Oilers get a rush out of that. Koskinen then saves on Chason. But McLeod, he scores from Russell and Cuckoo at 6:33. And I hate to say it, but that's one that you want Spencer Martin to save because he was off the post a little bit. But man, he played so well tonight. It's so hard for me to even say it. So the Oilers press, they draw themselves a power play. Draisaitl with a blast that was saved. He's denied again after that. The Oilers press after it ends, though, and then Draisaitl gets the goal from Nugent Hopkins and Puljujarvi at 10:24. And I might have swore when that happened, not because of anything anti-Oilers, but because here's Spencer Martin giving everything he has, and the Canucks in the third just folded. They just absolutely folded, and it would continue. So the Oilers press for the lead. The Canucks get a power play. It's not very good. Gets one shot. That's it. That's the only power play they had in the game. And then there's just so many Oiler chances late. But we go to overtime. The Canucks control in the faceoff. Miller fires one wide and done. Draisaitl hits the post. Myers at center ice. So what's the rule of overtime? You control the puck, right? You have the puck. You control the game. Myers dumps it in. Anyway. So that he handed it away. So that means Martin has to make a save and hold on to it at the other end of the ice because that's what the Oilers are going to do. Keith was denied by Martin. Besser's denied at the other end. That's the only shot that Vancouver had that hits the net. And then McDavid from Nurse at 4:36 ends it. So the Oilers celebrated on the ice while my heart ached for Spencer Martin. It's so tough for the guy. Like, the Oilers win this one 3-2 in overtime. They go to 20-16-2. And looking at what Dallas was doing, Edmonton really needed these points. Vancouver drops to 18-19-5. The math's tough for Vancouver. They have to start winning some games. I know there's still players out. I know they're still missing both of their goalies, but they got to start winning here. My 3 stars, because at the time I start recording this, or at the time I set these boards up, they didn't have the 3 stars up. So I thought, well, I can give my 3 stars. I would give Spencer Martin the first star, Connor McDavid second star. He gets the winning goal. And Draisaitl was a beast throughout the game, so I'm giving him the 3rd star. Those are my 3 stars. Anyways, shots, 15-10 Edmonton in the first, 11-7 Edmonton in the second, 15-9 Edmonton in the third, 9-1 Edmonton in the overtime. 9. They had 9 shots in the overtime. I don't think any of them were like cream puff shots either. They were all fantastic. Final shots are 50-27 for Edmonton. So that's not great. Power plays, 0 for 3 for Edmonton, 0 for 1 for Vancouver. So they killed off all 3 power plays, though the Draisaitl goal was shortly after one ended. Hits, 16-13 Vancouver. Koskinen had a very good game quietly. 25 saves on 27 shots. And Martin saves 47 out of 50. So, 940 save percentage tonight. Not bad for a goaltender that we had no idea who he was. Well, I mean, I knew who he was because, I live in Abbotsford, so I know who he is. But at the NHL level, I had no idea if he'd be able to even do this. And he's acquitted himself very well, so... And I've already seen, well, do you think they get rid of Halak? No, this does not change the Canucks' plans for the rest of the year. Okay, moving along. Last game of the night. Nashville in against Seattle, and Seattle got Nashville. This is how Nashville plays. So it's Saros versus Grubauer. Grubauer passes early tests in this one. Donato has a chance to save. The Predators get a power play. It's unsuccessful, only generates one shot. Seattle then gets a power play themselves, and then they get 158 of 5-on-3. There was a slash called immediately on the next faceoff. So Johansson whiffs on one, but then McCann scores 5-on-3 from Giordano and Johansson at 8:59. The Predators then kill off the 5-on-4. So good job by the Predators there. Seattle goes back to the power play, but a really good penalty kill by Nashville. Doesn't let them set up. They allow 0 shots on that one. Predators get another power play with 2:54 left. They don't score, but Luke Cunnin, shortly after that's done, scores from Benning and Yossi at 19:39 to tie it up. We end up going to 4-on-4 right after. Coincidental minors coming out of that. So second period, Duchesne fans on one. Seattle presses at the 2-minute mark. Predators then start to take control of things here. Granlund draws a Preds power play. Yossi has a chance that's denied. Seattle, to their credit, they kill that off. Things get pushy after a Grubauer save. Kuhlman has a rush chance that's saved. And then Adam Larsson scores his third of the year from Gord and Johansson at 12:21 after what was a great shift by Seattle. And that puts them ahead 2-1. So really good shift, good momentum. However, Forsberg scores at 15:15. Roofs at far corner. No chance for Grubauer on that. It's 2-2. And then Ekholm, a little over a minute later from Jeannot and Sissons at 16:31, puts Nashville in the lead 3-2. Borgen was then denied later in the period, but this is Nashville. Now they're up 3-2, and Nashville coming into today was 20-0-1 when they lead after 2 periods. Very tough to come back against Nashville. McCann has a rush chance, that's defended. The refs had put their whistles away in the third period at that point as well. Just there were numerous things that could have been called on either team, and they just, nope, you guys can keep playing. We're renting this ice by the hour. We got to get out of here. The elephants are coming. So Borgen with a chance that was saved and held. Gord with a net feed that wouldn't connect. Seattle does get a power play, so the whistles came out a little bit there. That was unsuccessful and got no shots. None. Seattle presses after. Eberle can't bury one. And then the Preds get a power play, and they score on theirs. It's Duchesne from Granlund at 15:51. So Seattle pulls the goalie with 3 minutes left unsuccessfully. And so your final score is 4-2 for Nashville. They go to 27-14-3. Seattle drops to 13-25-4. And I will agree with Linda Cohn. This game was a microcosm of the season Seattle's had. Decent game. They get a bit of a lead. They look good. And then essentially they just lose it, right? So your 3 stars in this one are Saros, Johansson, and McCann. Shots, 12-11 Seattle in the first, 13-11 Seattle in the second, 9-5 Seattle in the third. Final shots actually favor Seattle, 34-27. Saros was fantastic. Power plays, both teams go 1 for 4. The hits were 26-25 for Nashville. Saros saves 32 out of 34. Grubauer 23 out of 27. So there you go. You're all caught up. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Do let me know how you felt about tonight's games, and does Arundel get anything from player safety tomorrow, or do we hear crickets? Let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot. I will talk to you again tomorrow.